Hi, hey, this is Hans, and it's time for the Ramen Raiders Top 10 Spiciest Instant Noodles of All Time, 2020 edition. Alright, a little disclaimer before we start. These are the absolute spiciest ones I've tried. If you don't like spicy, watch something else. These aren't for you. These are really hot. There are some in here that could take down a wild rhino, most likely. So use caution if you might have a heart condition or possibly problems with your stomach, things like that. Just be smart about it, okay? I don't want anybody getting sick or running to the emergency room because they can't handle heat. Let's burn. In at number 10, we have Thai Hodian Restaurant with their supreme spicy noodle from Taiwan. Okay, so there was a big craze about mala flavor not too long ago. There still is, but I think people now know what that numbing, buzzing, spicy, funky, different taste Szechuan pepper brings. It's not like a red pepper or a jalapeno or a chili pepper like that. It's like black pepper, Szechuan pepper corn. Now, this stuff has so freaking much of it. I honestly don't like this one, but if you were talking about spicy, oh man, it's got so much Szechuan pepper, it'll knock your block off, no sweat. So, maybe some sweat, no pun intended. At number 9, we have Paldo with their Bulnak Baby Octopus Noodle from South Korea. Now, this one is basically a noodle with sauce that's spicy. And it's really quite spicy. There are so many spicy varieties from South Korea, it makes my head spin. And that's what most of this list actually is. Nice, thick, chewy ramen noodles from Korea. So, yeah, this one will get you going. In at number 8, again, Paldo with their Volcano Curry Noodle. This stuff has a kind of different take on the flavor of curry, but that doesn't mean it's not spicy. And this one comes in packs, bowls, cups, you name it. So you can get your spice on in all sorts of different ways. So if you want to go down the street, sit at the bus station, and start your mouth burning, you can do it with this one. And then in at number 7, yet again, here's Paldo from South Korea with their Tumse Ramen. This is the 9,413 Scoville heat unit version. So there are all sorts of numbers involving spicy instant noodles. This one has the number 9,413. I did not find it spicier than a lot of them. One thing I did find about it, though, I did a mukbang of this one recently, and it tasted great. I really like the flavor on this one, and the noodle is nice and thick and chewy. Yeah, this if you can find this one, give it a try because it's really quite good and tasty, and it does mean business. So if you do like spicy, hit it up. At number 6, we have Lang Cheng Mai with their 30-second hot bird noodle. Why is it 30 seconds? Oh, by the way, it's from China. Why is it 30 seconds? Because that's how long you need to cook it for. Because the noodles are fresh noodles. So you can submerge them in hot water for 30 seconds and they're done. Then you drain them and you put the sauce on it, stir it up, put a little bit of sesame seed and seaweed stuff on there. You're good to go. It's very spicy. It's very, very reminiscent of a certain South Korean variety that has a chicken on it as well. So I'll just leave it at that, but yeah, this is a pretty good one. I really like the inclusion of the fresh noodle. In at number 5, we have Samyang Foods with their perennial favorite of people around the world, Buldak Bokkeumyeon from South Korea. That angry chicken's name is Hochi, and she brings poor fashion sense and a lot of anger. This is a really good noodle to cut your teeth on for your first try at things that are spicy. This will make you sweat. This will make you go. It's serious business, and it's really quite good. So if you want to give this one a try, you are going to be hard-pressed not to find it everywhere. I can go down to my local grocery store, not an Asian grocery, but a regular grocery store. Boom, they've got it there. So it's very easy to find. It is the originator of the Fire Noodle Challenge, so just be forewarned, it's hot. In at number 4, we have a new one from Mami Shinsegai with their Ghost Pepper Spicy Chicken Noodle. And this one's from Malaysia. So these little cups have a lot of anger in them. First off, the noodles, they're really neat. They're black. They're jet black. They are, wow, I mean, look. They're black noodles. And the spicy level is way up there. So this one will be coming to the US from what I hear, and that's a good deal because I think everybody should be trying this one. You know, it's good. So, yeah. In at number 3, we've got one that I really liked, the Samyang Foods Bulldog Mini from South Korea. This one clocks in at 12,000 Scoville heat units. So this is the spiciest. This one's about 2.5x. I put it there. It's not quite, maybe 2.4, 2.41x if you want to get technical. And that's cool because this list is all about technical, at least where my palate's concerned. And I would say it's about there. What's different too is it's mini, so it's smaller. It's about half the size of the normal block. So it's easier, it's one that you can scarf down a little bit quicker if that's a concern. So yeah. Oh, and you can only find this one in South Korea as far as I know. Now, last year, this was number 1. Isoyama Shoji 18 prohibited. You might also see it as 18 restricted or 18 only. This is from Japan. This is mean stuff. Now, putting this at number 2 is a very, very tough thing, and I'll get more into that when I tell you what number 1 is. This one, first off, is also in my bottom 10 list because I think it tastes horrible, like burnt plastic. This is curry flavor, and then the full of ghost pepper, like so much ghost pepper, it's insane. It's absolutely insane. Add that to the fact that they're $10 a pack. I've seen them in stores in Canada, and they're $10 for a single pack. Now, when you cook them up, first off, it takes 700 milliliters of water. The first time I tried this, I figured 700 mils of water, no, that's going to dilute the seasoning so much. It doesn't. It needs that to cook the noodles, which really get big. So you end up with a huge serving of noodles and a ton of broth. And it's just so spicy. You get capsaicin cramps. That's the stuff that makes things spicy. Your stomach cramps up from eating it. The last time I tried doing this, I got maybe, a quarter way through the pack and just had to quit. And then I was writhing on the floor for like an hour and a half. I'd like to see somebody actually go through this thing and just pound the whole thing straight in one shot. I haven't seen it yet. You do it. Do it. Do it. And now, for the hottest instant noodle in the world, and aptly named, at number 1, we have Cully's World's Hottest Ramen from New Zealand. Yeah, so this one is a totally different animal from everything else. It's the number 2 on this list is close to it. This one, however, is full of what's called Carolina Reaper pepper mash. And the Carolina Reaper pepper is no joke. It's mean. It's serious. People eat these things and they go into shock. It's that hot. When I did this, I was able to finish the whole thing. I ended up with the worst capsaicin cramps in my life. 8 hours. 8 hours I was doubled over. I was pounding ice cold drinks for 8 hours. Seriously. And it was like if I didn't move and I drank something ice cold, I guess it would just move it away from my stomach lining and make things all happy. But as soon as I moved around a little bit, it came back and it hurt, man. Oh my God. I did it on a day that my son was in school, and I did it right as soon as my daughter went down for a nap. I'm like, cool, I've got 2.5 hours to conquer this sucker. Started right away. I got it cooking, cooked it up, and ate it, and bam. that whole time, it was just the most pain. I was like laying on the floor. It was like, it was like my entire body went numb, tingly, weird, crazy, shock, totally. So this one, look around, you'll find it. It is serious business. One thing too, everybody that I've seen that's tried this and eaten the whole thing, they also complained about the cooking directions. Now, what you're supposed to do is you put the noodle in a bowl, you put everything on top, the sauce and everything on top, pour water on, cover it up for like 4 minutes, and it's done. It doesn't work. The noodles just don't get cooked. So I would ask, if possible, that Mr. Cully over in New Zealand could possibly maybe try a different way for the recipe or the cooking instructions. I think something like this would work. Cook, drain, add water, add the stuff, stir it up, you're done. Because if you cook it, then it's going to get those noodles just right. And I think if the noodles were done just right, it'd be even better. Because actually, this stuff has a really nice taste to it. It's almost like noodles with some kind of hellfire spaghetti sauce, but it's really good, and I think it deserves a little bit better on those noodles. So, and I think the noodles are non-fried too. Another little bonus. But yeah, this is a spendy one. I think you're probably going to spend about $20 to get this sucker, but it means business. Now, the reason that this was hard, a very, very hard list this year for me, number one, I've seen tons of people finish it. Now, were the effects from what I got off of it insane? Oh yeah. Number two, have I seen anybody finish it, including myself? No. I've seen people say, "Ooh, I finished it," but they didn't even drink the broth. They did not finish it. You've got to drink the broth. You've got to go the whole 9 yards. Either you're in or you're out. And if you're going to say you're going to do a noodle challenge, you have to eat and drink everything. So that's what was the tricky part. It's like I've got on one side, this stuff is so freaking hot, it's mind-numbing. On the other side, this one is not as hot, but there's no way anybody can go through all of this and chug down all that broth. So it was like, I don't know which way to go, but I finally went with which one hurt me the worst. So I went with the Cullys. I thought that was probably the best way to go. But you know, if you think about it, it could go both ways. I'm going with the one that's definitely hotter. So there we are. Alrighty, well thank you very much for watching. Hey, I'm doing spicy noodle mukbang all the time. I really don't want to find anything that's spicier than that Cullys, but I'm sure I eventually will have to go for it. These mukbangs get harder for me too because I don't know if you noticed, I lost a lot of weight. I've been doing a lot of exercise and working on that, and my gut just is not as big, so I don't eat a lot of noodles. When I do reviews, I usually take a couple bites of the broth, a couple bites of noodles, slurps of broth, and that's it. So when it's like, say a Samyang 2X, you know, if I was gonna go try to do that right now, I would get nauseated before the heat even got close to bugging me. So it's tough, but for you, Internet, I will keep doing this. I will fight the good fight and bring you the spiciest noodles in the world. And hey, this has been Hans the Ramen Raider, wishing you enjoyment of your noodles every day. Have a good one. Bye.